What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Checked In Podcast. If you haven't already, do me a solid. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. Why? Well, because it'll let you guys know every time we upload. But with that being said, I just want to introduce my guest today, Marcus.
Hello, everyone.
So Marcus was actually telling me off camera that he was actually on a podcast before. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into that really fast because I'm actually kind of curious about that, especially since we're on one. But so talk to me about the podcast that you were on before.
Yeah, so the podcast that I was a part of was Vintage Vibes. And what they do is that they would interview anyone with a classic car.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically telling your story, how you got it, like what got you into classic cars. And that was my first venture into being on podcasts and stuff. So I thought it was a lot of fun. But again, it wasn't this, right? It wasn't with the microphone. Like it was over they had this special app that you downloaded and they're like,
okay.
oh, click this link and then go there. And then I was at home on a 4-way call with them.
Oh, kind of like a Zoom call, kind of.
Yeah,
Okay,
but no
okay.
video, obviously, right? And then that got uploaded to Spotify. If you want to check them out, Vintage Vibes Podcast, it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna have you send me the link afterwards.
Yeah,
that way
yeah.
I can go ahead and put it in the description. As well.
Okay, for sure. They've just been MIA for a little bit now. It kind of sucks because I spoke with one of the hosts and they were like, oh yeah, life got in the way. Another one's that's in school, so it's like.
Life be life and for everybody sometimes. Sometimes I think that's the one thing that a lot of people forget. Just because life gets in the way, don't forget about you and your project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then it kind of reverts back to the cars. Since you guys were talking about vintage cars, it kind of reverts back to that. Like, hey, just because you have that project sitting in the driveway, don't let it sit for another 4 summers.
Yeah.
Gotta give it some time too,
Yeah,
bro.
that is true. Yeah.
People forget. But the cool thing is that you guys at least started and had that. So how many podcasts or episodes did you guys think you guys did roughly?
Well, I wasn't a part of it. I was just a
Like a guest.
A guest.
Okay.
But I think. Actually, let me check on
Go
my
ahead,
phone.
by all means.
They're on Spotify, so let me check really quick.
That's another thing we need to do, bro. I need to get this podcast onto Apple and all that.
You guys aren't on
stuff, bro.
Spotify yet, or
bro.
no? Oh, okay.
I'm the one that's lagging on that aspect, right? Right now, I have so much on my hands right now that's like.
No,
It's been
that's
on the
understandable.
burner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna hop on that. I told myself this year a lot of that stuff's gonna hop on there. But now the problem is I have so many videos now that I have to transfer over.
Got it.
And, either that or just start from where I'm going.
Yeah.
'Cause if it becomes too much of a headache to upload them, dude, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? We're gonna start fresh from this video, guys.
Yeah,
and
no,
that's it. So
that makes sense. So they only did 7 episodes.
okay. But when did they start it? Like during the pandemic? Roughly?
No, this was 2023. So
it
it was
already
just
coming
recently.
out.
Yeah,
it was coming out. Okay.
And it was the same. It was the same situation. They reached out over their story. They're like, "Oh, does anyone want to be a guest on the podcast?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, I'll do it."
You're like, hell yeah, dude.
Same thing when you mentioned on your story, you're like, "Oh, if anyone wants to show up," that's why I messaged you, and I'm like, "Okay, talk about whatever." I'm down.
Yeah, dude. And it's funny because sometimes I'll get so many DMs, bro, of people that'll be like, "Oh, I'm down," and then I'm all right. Well, let's schedule in, and then they'll lag it, Or sometimes too. I always tell people, I'm like, I think my favorite thing to do is allow them to come in and sit on one.
Yeah.
Because it kind of helps them relax and stuff. Because believe it or not, bro, having a camera on,
It's nerve-wracking.
It's a little nervous.
It's nerve-wracking,
People get all tightened up. I'm like, bro, it's relax.
Yeah, you think you know what you're gonna say, but then when you show up, you're like, "Oh shit!" People are gonna see this.
Or you start stuttering,
Yeah.
blah, 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 and you're like, oh, fuck, now everyone's gonna know I stutter, whatever. But I always say about them, don't try to be cool for the internet. Be you.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that matters.
You, it's like you'll be all right. Everything else goes out the window.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
After 10, 15 minutes, people forget that there's a camera until
It
randomly.
ends up being casual conversation.
Yeah, it does
and that's
that.
what I like about the podcast idea because, you get to be yourself. There's other podcasts that don't have the whole video thing and
just straight audio. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a radio.
So,
Yeah, kind of like a radio thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel that. But even radios nowadays too, they went to the whole video format. Now they have all that stuff too.
Exactly.
All that stuff. So I'm
Exactly.
oh,
Like
that's pretty
Power.
Power 106.
Uh-huh.
Is it
They have.
Yeah, they have that. Yeah,
They
yeah.
have the video format too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, every
that's
time I
cool.
think of Power 106, dude, I think of Big Boy, and he's on 92 something now, right?
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
All I know is that
bro,
Power 106 is
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I haven't listened to the radio in so long,
really.
so long, bro. people might find this weird, but I'm the type of person that gets in my car and just likes it quiet.
You're a rare breed, dude.
Yeah, I do not like music. I don't like anything. Sometimes, I don't know, maybe because like I got so used to having so many project cars that I'm listening for issues.
For any issues, yeah.
So that's probably what did it for me, because I would always put the volume down really low before, and then it'd just be like,
Did I fucking hear something?
I'm like, did that bolt squeak? Did I put it on right? Did it come loose? So I think that's what it is now. It's like I just very quiet in the car. Yeah.
Interesting. For me in the 68, I'll crank up the music, but as soon as I hear something funny, I'm like, wait, hold up. Well, like for example, like earlier this week, like we had just got my 68 running again, because again, remember how we were talking about life, and then so she kind of went to the back burner, and my girlfriend was like, hey, like
get on
it, dude. Like, and funnily enough, the bullet broke down. So
I did see that.
That was at the dealer. I didn't have a car, and my girlfriend was like, you have another car, get it fixed. And I'm like, I haven't touched it. It's leaking oil everywhere. So she finally, after enough ass kicking and, you know, her telling me to get it done, I was like, okay, you know what? Let's get it done, you know?
So I have a question for you. Like, how did you acquire that car?
That's a funny story.
Because, okay, you're not an older guy.
No.
So you know what I mean? That's why I'm kind of curious, because a lot of us, I guess you could say the younger people, right? We go for the more newer car, the more quicker car, the more this kind of car, you know? And you went for a classic. So, yeah. How did you acquire that, or what was it in your mindset that you're just like, I want that?
Yeah. So at the time, I had a 2000 V6 Mustang, and that was like my first like foray into the whole Mustang scene. I'm pretty sure you remember SoCal Mustangs.
Are they still around?
As far as I know, they just do like their own little private runs. Okay. Yeah, I don't really hang out with them as much anymore, but whatever.
Yeah, I think the politics and stuff gets.
I was like, I'm out. We'll go over that later in this episode.
I get that.
But a lot of them own classic Mustangs, and so we all became friends. And at the time, I'm sorry. So I was like, do I get a classic car, or do I? Because the 2018 Mustang body style came out, and I'm like, that shit looks good.
Yeah, it's a nice watch though. At first, I was kind of.
Not a lot of people liked it at first. Everyone
was kind of like
everyone loved the 15 to 17s, but ask everyone now.
No, yeah,
the 18s are really, really good looking. They aged well.
Yeah, they really did age well, especially the little aftermarket.
Exactly, exactly. So I was like, do I get an 18 or do I get a classic? And then all my friends were like, get a classic. Like, you're gonna spend less money. We can all work together to get it fixed, you know.
Okay.
So
she said less money, and I was like, dude,
depending on what you want to do with it,
depending on the project,
money,
right? Depending on the project, right?
Yeah, but I guess the debate in my head was like, do I want a car payment, or do I want to pay towards cooler parts for my car? You know.
Valid.
Exactly. Yeah. So I went for the classic car. After maybe 3-4 months of searching, one of my friends sent me that link through OfferUp, and the car was in South El Monte.
Okay.
And it was already like the third or fourth car that we went to go look at, and I went with my friend, and then we looked at it. It wasn't the prettiest, but he's like, you know what? A weekend and $300, and we got this car running. And I'm like, okay. Well, at the time, I didn't know shit. I was like, totally.
You took him for his word. 100%.
Because he had a freaking Coyote swapped 65 Mustang fastback, and it's just like, okay, if he did it, I trust his word, you know. And so, we offered the guy. The guy was asking, I think, like $5,000 for it. And then we brought him down to like $3,200.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's a steal.
It is. Here's the kicker though. Right. Here's the kicker. No papers, like no title, no bill of sale. The only way I got that car is that this guy wrote on a sheet of notebook paper, like, let's say you sold me the car, right? He said, I, Enzo, sold this car to Marcus for $300 on a piece of paper. Damn. And that's what I took to the dealer.
To DMV.
I'm sorry. Yeah. To DMV.
Okay.
And when I took it to DMV, they're like, what's this? And I'm like, oh, that's them saying that I
That I
bought the
purchased
car.
it. Yeah, I
And they're
want
like,
to hear. What did the DMV tell you? 'Cause
like the
DMV
lady was like so dumbfounded, and she's like, okay, and I'm like, yeah, I have the keys right here, and like, it was sure enough,
Bro. Did it? So it worked.
it worked.
Or was it a fight?
Not really.
No, okay.
Not really. The only thing is when they typed in the VIN, because older cars have shorter VIN numbers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Top tip for everyone who wants to buy a classic car, right? And it's out of the system. They're gonna see the VIN number and they're gonna be like, "This isn't the full VIN number. It is the full VIN number." They didn't change the long VIN number until like some years later.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you think I'm dumb?
Yeah,
Like, come on,
it's like
bro.
I know my car.
Yeah. You see that paper? It's mine.
That's
right?
it.
I know
That's
I
it
know
right there. So they were having issues typing in the VIN number, and then someone that knew came over, and they're like, "Oh no, that's an older VIN number." Right? They asked like, "What's the year of the car?" And I was like, 68, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, so that's an older." So they taught the person how to like type in older VIN numbers, but
It's always the people that don't know shit.
Yeah,
be
I know.
Stressing
Yeah.
you about
Exactly.
Not, you know, like.
and this is my first time doing this, so I'm
Yeah.
like, ah, shit, like what if I fuck up, like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, so the only problem was since it was out of the system, I had to get the VIN verified.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, "Oh, go take it to CHP." And I'm like, "Oh, well, shit." I should have just gone to one of those DMV registration places because they take care of everything.
Oh, okay. Be
Yeah.
careful though sometimes too, because sometimes they be fucking up.
You gotta know the right people.
Yeah, you gotta know the right people because
Yeah.
they did that to my Mustang and they messed up. They misspelled my name, everything. I was like,
Oh my God, hell no.
I was like, you know the headache you guys put me through when I show my ID and they're like, it's not the right Eric. I'm like, this is the right Eric.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like whatever.
So yeah, I went to go before I went to CHP. I tried showing them the VIN number, but the thing is, in '68, they already switched over to the dashboard. You know, on your car,
Oh yeah,
it has the VIN number on the dash.
on the actual front.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So back in '68, it was just like a little piece of metal riveted on. So anytime people would take off the dash cover, or like the dash pad, that little flimsy piece of metal would snap off. So my VIN wasn't on my dash anymore.
Okay.
So it was on my door, and it was also stamped on the apron of the engine bay. All I had to do was just unbolt the fender a little bit and pull it back, and you could see the VIN. So I did that at DMV, and they're like, no, you have to take it to
CHP.
and I'm like, come on, dude, it's like right there. It's 4 bolts, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, no, you have to take it to CHP, and I was like, oh, well, screw it, okay. So I took it to CHP, and at CHP, I unbolted the fender. I pulled it back, and the officer was like, okay, let me write it down. I'll come back. Went to go do a VIN check on it. He comes back out, and he's like, so bad news. And I'm like, what do you mean bad news? And he's like, yeah, the car was stolen.
You're lying.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, dude, come on, really? Like, I just bought this car. Like, and he's like, but it got recovered.
Oh,
and I'm like,
what a dick, dude.
Yeah, and I was like, no, dude, like, how? I hate that guy so much. No, I'm kidding. He was really cool, but, yeah.
Somehow, some way, the universe is gonna send in this video.
Yeah.
You were a dick, sir. You were a dick. You should have said it was recovered and then stolen. But whatever, that's fine.
But the pause of me being like, wait, what do you mean it was stolen? Like, because you know, people, if you buy a stolen car,
you're lost.
You're lost, and you get in trouble too, even though you didn't know.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least that's what I think it is. Don't quote me on it, but I believe that is true.
Because I did see a video of some guy bought some wheels, and then I guess they didn't fit, so he was flipping them. And then I guess the original owner of that met up with him, and then he like held him there until the cop showed up, and then he got his wheels, and the guy lost his money.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the severity of like what the item is.
Probably because apparently those wheels were expensive, and they cost more than a certain amount of money. So that's why they pressed the issue. And even the guy was like, well, why is that my fault? He's like, I bought them from this guy, and then now I'm selling them. It's like, if he wants them back, just give him my money back.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't know if you didn't steal them.
Exactly.
You know? And it's
exactly.
like,
So just to keep the floor clean, that's why they say like you lost out on the money, whatever.
That shit sucks though.
It does.
Yeah, but the good thing though is that he's a content creator, so he made it back off the content.
Got it.
You know?
Got
so
it.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But so okay, so he told you that, and then after that he just checked it off, and then
Yeah, he said, okay, you're free to go, but he put one of those blue California Highway Patrol VIN numbers on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if your car doesn't have a VIN number, CHP will give you one.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. What next time we meet up at a car show, I'll show you where it's at.
Show it to me. Yeah.
So he stamped it on the car, and normally that means that a car is a total loss or it was like a recovery or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the title would say salvaged, but my title's still clean.
Okay.
So because my VIN number is still original, they didn't change my VIN number.
Oh, I see. I
yeah.
see.
So
Okay,
I think that's the way it works.
Either that or they messed up and they just left it alone.
Hey, my title says clean.
Yeah, as long as it says clean,
I
we're
can
good,
get full.
you know?
I can get full price for the car now.
That's what I'm talking about. Damn, dude.
But
that's crazy.
Yeah, and that was back 2018. So I've owned the car since then. But it's been a whole learning process. Like it's all about, getting to know the car, how it works, how it functions, and then
Patience for sure.
patience.
For sure.
and
Anytime
money.
yeah. Anytime you have a project car, bro, patience.
Yes.
Right.
So if anyone wants to buy a project car, I suggest buy one that's fully running. Not that difficult to work on. I think Mustangs are a great entry into
I
that.
think they really are.
Because parts aren't that expensive anyway. Obviously, if you buy a transmission and an engine, that's expensive, right?
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Well, depends on the year.
Yeah,
Depends on
yeah.
the year, but yes.
But definitely get something that's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that has decent body work. Because mine's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good though.
From a distance and at night, it looks great.
So it's a una.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go, ooh, from a distance. When you get close, you're like, nah, this ain't
Yeah.
it. This ain't it. Nah, dude, you know what's funny is that I had a similar, I guess you could say, experience when I bought the Mach 1. Technically, okay, it's a Mach 1 drivetrain.
Yes.
But it's a GT body. I have to explain it because everyone comes at me and I'm like, bro, it's a Frankenstein car.
Yeah,
All right?
yeah.
I bought it because it came with a supercharger and I pretty much got it for free.
Yeah,
All right. That's
yeah.
how I see it. So when I first originally bought that car, I seen it online. Same thing. It was missing, I believe, the pink slip, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was missing the pink slip or something like that. And obviously, this was the first car that I was going to buy for super, super cheap. That's why it didn't sell because one, it had a blown motor. It had, I guess the guy's girlfriend drove it through a puddle, sucked in water through the intake, and then,
Oh, nice.
ignited.
That's great.
So I seen the car, right? And I was like, okay, he's asking X amount of money. But why is it still out here? Like, it doesn't make sense. Found out I had a blown motor, and I was like, okay, motor shouldn't be too crazy to find.
Yeah.
And I looked up the supercharger. The supercharger kit alone was like $6,000.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I got the car for like $1,500. All right, with the supercharger.
Wow.
So the guy originally had taken it off because he wanted to sell the
Yeah.
supercharger on the side, right, to try to make some money off it because the car wasn't selling. So I hit him up. I said, hey, look, I'll take the car as it's posted with everything.
Yeah.
For this price. All right, bro, come check it out. So I went to go check it out. Didn't have the pink slip, which I already was aware.
Uh-huh.
But I found out, since I have AAA, you can actually get a paperwork kind of like bill of sale type thing from AAA.
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah.
You're right.
And you can also call them and they can confirm stuff for you. Now, the way that it works, because it was so dumb.
Really?
It's so dumb, but it makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Like, they're protecting
The buyer.
the buyer's information. So all they can say is this. So you call, you say, hey, AAA, how's it going? I have a car here that I'm going to purchase.
Yeah.
Okay. I have the owner here. The owner's name is blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
You have to say, this is the owner's name.
Yeah.
And they will say, that is correct. They can't say yes or no.
Okay.
Like, not like saying, oh, no, you have the wrong name. They can say yes and no.
Got
They'll
it.
be like, that name does not pop up here.
Okay.
So then you have to get the right name. So it's a game that you're playing with them.
Really? I
Yeah,
never knew
so
that.
you can confirm it. You'd be like, this is the VIN number. That looks correct.
Okay.
And then you just give them all that information. So once they confirm all that, then you say, okay, you grab their license, the information, you write it down on the paper, whatever. They sign it, you sign it. Cool. That's proof that I bought the car from you. I have pictures.
Had I
I
known.
even confirmed with AAA, and they helped me out on that. So I said, all right, perfect. So for those of you that don't know, you can do that if you have AAA. Get AAA, please. Get triple. I tell everyone
It's worth it.
It's really
worth it.
Also, too, I'm gonna explain something to you. Okay, when you have car insurance too, make sure you call your car insurance because they are charging you for towing as well.
Yes.
A lot of people do not know that your car insurance can give you pretty much a free tow. Now, depending on your coverage and depending on whatever it is, sometimes you can use it for emergencies and sometimes you can use it for accidents only. Just depending. So I had to cancel that portion of my stuff on my insurance because they were charging me for it, and I didn't know. And I was like, well, I have AAA. They do the same thing as that.
Yeah.
Why are you charging me extra? Well, just cancel that. And AAA is a 1-year payment, guys. It's not a monthly payment.
Yep.
All right? Everyone thinks it's a monthly payment.
Yeah, and it's only like, I think for the base one, I think it's only like $70 a month.
That's it.
I'm sorry, a year.
Yeah, a year.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
year. And I pay $180 and I have 2 cars.
Dude.
Or 2 people. Sorry, 2 people. And I'm like, bro, there's nothing for 1 year, and they come 3 me, 3.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's perfect. And then how often do you really use it? Very rare, unless you have a project car that's not running right. But
Yeah.
other than that,
Yeah.
like, you know, do it. You know, it makes sense and it's worth it. Plus, you can go through there to the DMV. Instead of going to the DMV, you can go through them. Only downside is for some reason they only take cash or check.
Oh,
The dumb, well, whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's dumb, but whatever. So that's normally where I go do all my
Yeah.
stuff, and they're pretty chill and all that stuff. But yeah, I had the similar experience with that. I had to go through that, and then see, I don't think I would ever take my car to CHP for any inspection. The only reason why I say that is because I bought a motor for my car the same week, and I don't know if that motor is like really an accident
yeah.
or it was stolen, you know? Because then they're gonna be like, well, that one was reported, so then we need the motor now.
Uh-huh.
The whole car is,
Yeah,
you know?
that
Because
is
I
true.
heard of stories like that where they'll go and they'll be like, oh, I'm registering X, Y, and Z, and the motor is like it's obviously from
Yeah.
a different car
Yeah.
or whatever. Got it online. Oh, well, that motor was reported stolen. Now we own the whole car. So the whole car was given to the new person.
Jeez.
All your hard work gone.
Gone.
They'll be like, well, take the motor back. Leave me in my car. Nope. It's all in there. It's all theirs. That's crazy.
That's
bro.
ass.
That imagine you spend thousands of dollars
Yeah.
on let's just say an
Yeah.
Impala, Mustang, whatever, and they say, oh, well, the motor's stolen. We're gonna transfer it.
Dude.
That's insane. It really is insane how people be doing that. But also too, it's like you take a risk when you buy shit online,
Of
bro.
course.
You know,
All the time.
But since we're on the classic car topic, obviously, all of you guys are aware that LA has pretty much been burning. All right, there's been fires. There's been craziness.
Crazy week.
I'll be honest. I'll be the first guy to say it. I thought this was just like one of those basic fires that we kind of get here and there, where they'll burn some little houses. You know, now when I say some little houses, it's still a big deal.
Yeah.
But not to the record.
Where you lose a couple houses on the edge of the mountain.
Yeah, literally where it's literally neighborhoods. All right. Normally it's like a house or two, or some rich person loses their house,
Yeah.
whatever. So it's like whatever, they get it under control. But this time around, it was really, really big. And since we were on the classic car topic, there was so many videos that I seen on TikTok and
It's
the internet
heartbreaking.
of these cars
It's heartbreaking.
just gone, bro. Like classic cars, some cars worth hundreds, if not millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Burnt. I seen people even that have a really good, nice collection drive all of their cars to a local, like, what is it, shopping center and leave them there.
Really?
Just because, and people would be walking around and be like, bro, there's a antique, like a vintage Porsche sitting right there worth a couple $100,000. Then you have an Eleanor sitting there as well worth a couple $100,000. Like,
I haven't seen that.
Bro,
That's
it's a
crazy.
video that I had seen it, and this guy was just literally, it looked like it was a Ralph parking lot, bro. And he was just walking around, and he's like, dude, we literally have, if you add it up, it's a couple $1 million just sitting right here in this lot.
Jeez.
Just literally sitting there. And there was people just trying to save their Impalas. They're like wetting their cars.
Yeah.
They didn't even care about their house. They're like, my cars, dude.
I seen that video. He's like well known, I think, in the LA area for like
I
lowriders.
have no idea. I just
Yeah.
seen it went viral, and I was like, that's crazy.
I think he ended up saving the cars.
Did he really?
Yeah, the guy that was
Okay.
waiting like it was a 59 Impala, I think.
Yes,
And
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's like, I'm not letting go of the 59.
Dude, but what's crazy is that the house next door was gone.
Yeah.
Burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
And my boy was like, nope,
Yep.
don't care. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm not doing that. I'm like, bro, that's insane.
Yeah,
But-
because he's like, my 59's coming home with me.
yeah, bro,
You're
like, hell
dude,
no.
yes, I feel that.
It's so funny, though, 'cause
Uh-huh.
it's, okay, it's crazy to me how you can actually get some really good entertainment even though you're still going through that kind of,
Of course.
you know what I mean?
Of
Because think
course.
about it. For a person to take the time to record that, to wet their car, and
Yeah.
still post it, and
Yeah.
still be a good
that
sport
that
about
takes a lot.
It takes a lot. You have to be mentally, you have to be in a good place because
Yeah.
not everyone can go through that.
Oh,
you know?
no, of course
'cause
not. Of course
there's
not.
people that lost everything, and then there's people where everything was their cars. So
That is true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. But yeah, dude, so many classic cars just gone, and I'm just like, I sat there and I was like, bro, like, I wonder if any of them are actually salvageable, because
Burns are tough because it
structure wise,
structure wise,
metal and all
there's
that.
you can't bolt anything to it. Like the metal's just gone.
Man, it's just so sad, bro. I seen I don't know if it was the newest and latest Lamborghini was just sitting outside in the street parked, and it was just like covered in dust, and everyone was like, "Oh, look, the new GTA lobby," and it's all burning in the background, and it's the freaking Lamborghini, and it's all covered in ashes. I was like, "Bro, that's insane, bro." I was like, "You guys are wild, bro." But yeah, so many crazy things were happening, and looting and all this other stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Bro, what the like?" Yeah, I don't even know if they still have it under control. Now, keep in mind, guys, by the time you guys might watch this video, everything might be over. But
Yeah.
it's just the air quality
Right now
crazy.
is it's a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole, like, for example, like my girlfriend and I were out here yesterday, because she owns a little flower arrangement business. Shameless plug, by the way.
Do it.
Classic Florals by Evangelique.
I'll plug it down
Yeah,
below.
if
so
you
guys
need
can
flower
check it out.
arrangements in the LAOC area, we got you guys, okay?
Yeah,
So, anyways,
plug in.
Yeah, we were out here at the flower district yesterday, and I'm like, well, it's Saturday, it's gonna be packed. It's always packed at the flower district.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even driving by it is packed.
Yes.
I'm like,
yes.
damn.
Everyone's running around buying flowers,
Yeah.
getting supplies and whatnot. But when we pulled up, like, because I get off the 5 freeway and I come up 7th, and I'm like, it's not as packed today. What's going on? Like, it's hard to find parking on a Saturday
Yep.
in the flower district, and I'm like, there's something eerie about this. The streets were quiet. It wasn't like bustling, like hustle and bustle, you know. It was just really, really, really eerie. Like it kind of sort of reminded me of like COVID, like during that time, where the streets were kind of sort of. I mean, it wasn't empty, but like still, like you could tell there was not a lot of people on the street trying to buy stuff. On a Saturday, and we could see the Malibu fire.
Oh, really?
Off the freeway, yeah.
Okay.
But the skies were clear yesterday. I mean, I wasn't here during because I heard that like this whole area was like black.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's why I was kind of skeptical with like how this appointment was gonna go, like us sitting down, because I wasn't sure if it was still gonna keep pushing this way. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm gonna see.
Yeah.
But dude, even like the sun was like, obviously the sun's red, guys. It's a yellowish red, but like it looked bloodshot red.
Yeah.
Because of all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn, that's crazy. The ashes were everywhere.
Yep.
I was like, bro, what the fuck? That's insane. But yeah, it's even for example, like right now, when I was walking around and stuff earlier in the morning, it was pretty empty, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's kind of wild. I was like, don't get me wrong, yes, it's a Sunday, but at the same time, it's like
You see more movement.
Yeah, I'm here on Sundays, and I'm like, there is more movement. But today, I just see nothing but homeless people just cruising around. I was like, wow. I was like, I barely see them on this side. You know, like they're always over there or whatever. But yeah, bro, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to see all
So
that.
it was a little eerie, but at the same time, like it kind of sort of felt like everything's gonna be okay. I mean, I hate being cheesy, but like seeing the blue sky like yesterday, and then today is
A lot better.
gorgeous skies today.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
And then coming up the 5 freeway, like we could see all of like, are those the San Gabriel? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mountains behind us, clear as day. Yesterday, covered. You couldn't even see them.
throughout the whole week, bro,
Yeah,
you couldn't see
today,
shit.
gorgeous skies.
That's good. That's a
So-
good sign.
So yeah, I mean, my heart and prayers go out to everyone that lost,
Yep.
family members or a house.
bro.
It's sad because I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, like what was it like last Tuesday or Wednesday when it started in Malibu? Like my coworkers were like, "Oh yeah, the Palisades are on fire," and I'm like, "In January? Like,
Yeah.
the hell?" And I was like, "Okay, well."
But notice we're so numb to it, bro.
Exactly. We're
That's
like,
the
okay,
thing.
yeah, it's the forest. Like,
Yeah, like,
one or
yeah,
two
yeah,
houses. No one's gonna pass away. Like their insurance is gonna cover it, right? No,
That's another
Altadena's
thing.
gone.
Yeah.
Palisades is gone. I was like, no way. And those are roads that we drive up, when we go out cruising.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I
know?
heard that. Yeah, dude. Like, so there's been so much information that I've just been consuming on X. So I've been on X more than I've been on any other social.
Got it,
platform,
okay, mhm.
Just because of the fact that they have like the whole community notes thing, and it's just I've seen it's been a little bit more I guess you could say less bias, more information.
Got it.
So that's why I've been on it. And yeah, dude, just like consuming all that, or even watching like people post links to say, oh, you can help out here to these people, but then not knowing that those links have foundations and those foundations get a certain percent of those donations and then they give the money out. So I'm like, everyone's just making money off this shit right now. I'm like, bro, this is crazy times. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, there's just so
Yeah.
much information that has just been out there. And I'm just like, I can't believe it's actually gotten this bad. Like when you sit there and think about it, how big and bad it got, like that's crazy to me. Just sitting here thinking about it, I
Yeah.
watched videos before you got here of like before and afters, and someone compared it saying like, oh, everything that burned down is like all of Manhattan gone in New York.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
uh-huh.
I
In
was
terms
like,
of us, what was like square acreage?
yeah,
Right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was like, that's that's crazy, bro. Because you know, I think I've been to New York now, what, 4 times,
Lucky I've never been.
bro. I love it, bro.
I need to go.
Yeah, you need to go. I would recommend going 2 times if you can.
Okay.
One in Christmas time,
Okay.
like in the beginning of the month, and then one in the summer.
Got it.
Just because, so normally when we go in December time because of the vibes. The vibes are just
Got it.
It's the best. If you were to tell me pick one, I'd tell you go to December every time. But I would always recommend going summer and Christmas, just one time in the summer, just so you can get the experience of like when everyone is out there, the parks are full.
Yeah.
Like you literally get that vibe of like when you go to the movies and you watch like them, like people in the background of the parks. It literally is that, bro.
Oh wow.
It's literally that. People are out there playing some weird games with some like trampoline. Like it's a lot to like take in because you don't see that a lot over here in LA.
Of course.
But it's beautiful. In my personal opinion, I think it's beautiful, especially if you like the city a little bit.
Got it.
It's really, really
Got it.
nice. Their transportation, the what is it, the train. I think, bro, if I was to live over there, I wouldn't need a car.
Subway, really?
Yeah, I would not need a car. Saw Subway.
Wow.
A little sketchy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little sketchy. You know, sometimes depending on the hour.
Depends
you go
what
there.
line, right?
Yeah, yeah. Depends on which one you're at. You know, sometimes you get a really good character in there, and you're just like, nah.
Let me just scoot over
I'm
one
just gonna move down a little bit. But it's cool. I mean, New York is something that I would always recommend for everyone. Might go back for a country concert. So yeah.
Ooh.
No, it's just like an
like a
event.
festival, or?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool,
It's
cool,
like
cool.
a little festival thing, and then still looking at that because it's either that or Florida. Never been to Florida, so
okay.
might do Florida. I just want to make sure I go around the good times,
Yeah.
not the hurricane season time.
Yeah.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to get blown away. I'm not the heaviest guy and I'm not the lightest guy, but I might, a little bit of heavy on the
Yeah,
winds might
yeah.
take me out, bro. Like when the winds were hitting over here in LA, dude,
That was crazy.
dude,
Yes.
I was scared, dude.
Yes.
I was freaking out. Mm-hmm. The reason why I say I was freaking out is because I drive semis. So
Oh, you're top heavy.
yeah, so I have to go up north a little bit. The furthest I think I went to that day was supposed to go to Ontario. So even in Ontario, the winds were heavy. So there's times where I have a full load going up and an empty coming back.
Got it.
So an empty is the one that gets you because it's just moving
Nothing's
around,
weighing you down,
bro.
yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know, bro. It's kind of sketchy. But a lot of guys were flipped over,
Oh wow.
tipped over, just completely gone. And the crazy thing, bro, is that in those areas, it's so common that it's not like police are just there. Oh my God, we need to cover this. Like when it happens over here, like
Yeah,
something flips
yeah, yeah.
over, they cover it right away, and they put the cones, the flares, go. No, over there, flips over. It's an emergency. All right, cool. Just keep driving. And
Yeah.
they'll stay there until they have enough time to pick them up, bro.
Yep.
Like that's what's crazy to me that over there, it's just so like normal and just so chill.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude, it's really wild. But it's kind of like Florida too. Like when they have their hurricanes, it's like for them at least, it seems to me like they have their preparation a little bit more handled. They already know what to get, like the boards, the set it up, all that stuff,
exactly.
the insurance stuff. Which that's another thing that I was gonna actually get back to, which was the insurance stuff that happened over here. That's crazy that the insurance is just kind of that's on y'all.
Yep.
You pulled out. You don't do your
Yep.
coverage no more. That's another thing that's crazy too, bro. But do you personally know anyone that might have lost their house over there or no?
Thankfully, anyone that I know, no. But I do know people that have had like friends or family that are affected. So obviously they're posting up their GoFundMe's, or they're like, oh, like if you guys feel it in your heart to like go donate stuff, then please go. So I know people that have lost homes. And
Damn,
stuff.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like to go back on what we were saying, like wildfires here for us, like we're like, okay, just
So numb.
it's the LA forest fire, whatever, blah blah blah. But no, like I'm from Orange County. You know, I'm not LA. You know, but since I have driven up those roads, oh, shoot, pause. Hold on.
Oh no, go ahead.
My girlfriend's calling.
Yeah,
Give me
so
1 second.
give us a second. All right, we're back. Cool. Sorry about that.
Sorry, my Uber ride, my girlfriend.
Your Uber?
Yeah, she showed up.
She showed up. She's here.
You wanna say hi?
Be nice, guys.
Come here.
You want to say hi to the camera?
That's my girlfriend, y'all. at is it your name? Yeah. At Evangelique.
We'll go ahead and put that in the description. Cool. So that's the flowers we were talking about earlier, right? The business.
Yeah. So she's the business owner for Classic Floral by Evangelique. So
we can go ahead.
She's
that'll all be down in the description.
Yeah.
So that way you guys can go
good
ahead and check it out.
prices. She's the best at what she does.
Anytime we hear good prices, that's always nice.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
Yeah, it is.
You know, the internet be kind of taking advantage of people sometimes. They be taking advantage sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, don't wait last minute either, guys. Especially when it comes to Valentine's Day is coming up. Take advantage. Yes. Make sure you hit the link. You make sure you send her a message, and don't waste people's time. Don't be in the DMs talking about, oh, I'll go. I want this. I want that.
Yeah.
Cool. This is your price. Ghosts.
We have you had any? We've maybe had like a couple of people ask like, oh, how much is it? And she'll say, and they'll like just
disappear,
not reply. And we're like, okay, whatever. Well, you didn't really waste our time, you know.
Yeah. On average, that seems like it's the norm, but there's people that'll give you details. They'll say this, ask you for this. We've been lucky so far, yeah. And dude, you're just like, really? Because it's the same thing for like, for example, I used to have a buddy of mine. His name was Zach. He used to have his own shop, and I got to the point where I'm like, bro, like, so many people message him about this or that or whatever. I'm like, bro, like, if you're not gonna spend some money, bro, get out of his DMs because you're wasting his time, and now you're making me look bad.
Exactly.
Because I'm telling people, you know, and I'm just like, I hate that, bro.
Yeah.
I hate that whole aspect of like, even Facebook Marketplace and all that other stuff too, bro. Oh, is the car still for sale? Yeah. Okay. Is this your price? Yeah. Boom, gone. They don't even respond back. It's like they don't want to sell anything anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I hate that shit, bro. But I forgot where we had left off, bro. Do you kind of remember where we had
we touched base on the insurance stuff a little bit.
Oh, yeah, the whole insurance thing.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how that works. Like, how is it that could even be a thing where, because someone had messaged me and I had put these insurance companies are like fucking people over, right? Someone had told me that they have like 4 insurances to cover everything in their house, which is kind of crazy.
4 different policies?
Yeah, like, which is kind of crazy. Now, based off my understanding, that's what I read. Now, my second grade reading level might kick in a little bit, but sometimes it happens. But yeah, dude. So I was like, that's kind of crazy to hear that even that is a thing right now for a lot of homeowners and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's that whole like pre-existing condition where they won't.
That too.
You know.
But from what I was reading, now keep in mind, a lot of the information that we're all getting on the internet, some is vetted, some is not.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff that I was reading was that supposedly that the insurances didn't want to cover because I guess they felt like the state wasn't doing their job with allowing them to raise their premiums or their whatever the minimums or whatever it was because they have to adjust to inflation and all that other stuff because labor is expensive, all that. And they also said that they felt that the state wasn't doing a proper management of like the area. So that's why they're like, well, if you're not going to allow us to at least raise the prices, you have to do your part. And they said no. And they were like, all right, we're done. We're just going to pull out.
It's just a whole big fuck up.
It's just a big game, bro.
Everyone, I hate politics. I'll start off by saying that. But I think everyone's just kind of sort of like, you know.
I think it's a washing of the hands for sure.
But, and then pointing, oh, no, it's their fault. No, well, no, it's because you did this. But you know what? What matters most is the people affected, you know?
Yeah.
And being there for them and whatnot.
And that's the shit that sucks, bro, because to have people build their houses again, it's going to suck, dude. It's going to really suck because now, think about it. How many houses burned down? How many businesses burned down? How many contractors are there? How many contractors are going to take advantage of this?
It's a huge...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of contractors out there that are going to be screwing people over. They're going to be like, oh, well, we need a upfront of this. And then boom, poof, disappear. Because a lot of contractors do that now. A lot of shadiness. You know, if you've ever had any construction in your home and you've dealt with a shitty contractor, they'll say, oh, we need $5,000 up front for labor, all this, you know, the parts or whatever. All right, cool. You give it to them, boom.
Yeah.
That's it. So I just hope a lot of people out there. Oh man, I hope people do their due diligence, bro, when it comes to contractors and stuff like that. Because I know in that area specifically, based off of what I've seen, there's a lot of older people.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel for older
True.
people, bro, because they're more vulnerable to all that stuff.
Yeah,
and I feel
and it
bad
also
for that.
depends who the company is. Like for example, like I know the graffiti towers right in front of. I still call it Staples Center.
Yeah, I call
Sorry,
it
not
Staples.
sorry. It's Staples Center.
It's Staples. Kobe built it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't, bro. People tell me crypto one time. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Where is that?" And they're like, "Staples Center." I was like, "Oh, just say Staples Center,
yeah.
bro." Fuck out of here with that crypto stuff, bro.
Yeah, that was a whole contractor failure. Like,
That's what that was.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the buildings. The
No,
buildings.
the ones that have like the graffiti like tagged up on every single floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good YouTube channel called Bright Sun Films.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that.
And this guy like does deep dives into like why companies went bankrupt, why projects got abandoned, you know. And I think it was him that did an episode on those graffiti towers. I think so. And yeah, he like they get into like the whole like
Nitty gritty of the
story
finances.
of like, oh, this is the contractor that did. They were in debt. You know, they received the funding. That funding went to the debt, and now they can't pay for the workers for the towers. And it's just like this whole big crazy story. You know.
Damn, bro.
So
the thing for me that gets me too, bro, is the whole money movement of things, of how it works. Like, for example, again, not to get too crazy into, I guess you could say, the politics, but just like how things work. It's perfect example, the homelessness outside, right? You see a lot of homeless people out here.
Yeah.
So supposedly that they had mismanaged something like along the lines of like $20 billion or give or take.
Wow.
Of mismanaged that because they spent that much money. They can't account for every dollar. And it supposedly that the homeless numbers have increased instead of decreasing.
wow.
After all that. So I was reading an article, I think it was on X that I was reading the article, and it was just going that, and it also had a video link to it. So it was kind of breaking stuff down. And I was just amazed, bro, at how, which I've talked about this before as well. I've mentioned about this lady where she gets paid $270-something thousand. She's a lady that's in charge of a nonprofit, I believe it's called, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of like a charity or whatever it is. And she gets paid that much, and then they get a certain amount of funding for certain buildings. So the nitty gritty of it is, I have the nonprofit. You, the government, give me money.
Yeah.
I have friends that are in real estate that have buildings. They say, okay, cool. Let's go buy this building. Okay, cool. We'll buy the building. We'll turn it into a place to help out homeless people or whatever, or low income or whatever. It doesn't matter. For a certain amount of years. Once that is done, we own the rights to the building. We don't owe you nothing. You don't owe us nothing.
Yeah.
We own the building. So the government pays for it, everything, to help out. Then they realize, oh, okay, our contract's expired. We own the building. We could do whatever we want.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, bro, I'm like, I'm in the wrong business, bro.
Yeah,
I figure I need to do some stuff like that because it's like, imagine doing all of that, getting funding, and then later on you get to do exactly whatever you want with it, even after that contract.
I mean,
And
you
then
paid
nothing
for
gets-
it. It's yours, right?
And nothing gets fixed though, bro. That's what amazes me. But also too, I heard that even when it comes to like the homelessness, there's a lot of rules and regulations that the homeless people don't even want to follow either.
That
You know?
I think it is a two-sided coin,
Right? It's
where
like-
people want to help them, but at the same time, there's people out there that they're okay with living on the street.
Because so there's an interview that I had seen where this guy goes out and interviews people on the streets, right? I forget what it's called, but he interviews homeless people or whatever. And he asks them like, "Oh, like why don't you go to the shelters? Oh, they have a lot of rules. What's that? Oh, well, there's a curfew, or I can't bring my pet, or I
Wow.
can't bring like my stuff because everything's already in there. They don't want no extra stuff, or they say that people get violated in there.
Yeah.
Obviously. So there's a lot of stuff that they're just like, well, I don't want to follow those rules because it's like I just want somewhere to sleep. But then they have
Sometimes
this,
they feel
that.
safer out on the street.
Yeah,
rather than,
you know,
that's crazy.
And that's another thing too. And it's like, well, if that's the case, it's like, how are they being also a little extra over the board with certain things or certain rules and requirements? I get the what is it, the curfew aspect of it. I get that because you want to make sure it's closed off, no in and outs.
Of course.
I get that. But at the same time, it's like these people say that they have to wait in line at a certain time, and then imagine most of your day is there.
Yeah.
And then most of those people that are working with them don't care for you personally. They're just there to get their checks. So they're just like, all right, are you coming in or not? Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a lot. when it comes to this whole game, that's why I think a lot of people try to stay away from the whole political thing too, because it's just so much.
Yeah,
bro.
and also I'm not knowledgeable enough to be like, you know what, it
It's a
should be
lot.
this, it should be that. So I really try to stay away from political statements or try to follow any political party or whatever. I think I hate politics.
Isn't it crazy though how it just
But hold before you continue that, I
Uh-huh.
will say though, I do believe that there are certain things from each side that do make sense. It's just that people don't know how to work together. I think that's the problem.
I think so too. I think a lot of people
Yeah.
don't know how to work together. I think it's a lot of ego problems. I think it's a lot of special interest type thing. You know, like people try to help out each other for certain reasons,
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
kickbacks, whatever the case may be. Just like when it comes to insurances and like the doctors and stuff like that, like how that works too. After finding videos on the internet where people break down certain things, kind of like the guy that breaks down the finances. There's people that break down the finances of like doctor kickbacks and like for example, they'll say, hey, well, if you take this pill or you take that pill, we'll recommend you this. We'll give you that.
Got
And you're
it.
like, oh, you're just giving me shit. It's
Yeah,
like,
you don't know why they're
because every time they write it, they put it down, who wrote it, what doctor. Okay, this is your cut of whatever you sold,
got it.
which is kind of crazy. Too.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, it makes me not trust anything or anyone anymore. You know what I mean? It's like the dealerships too when it comes to cars.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll charge you all X, Y, and Z for parts, labor, all this stuff, and then there's a mechanic that'll tell you they sent it to the dealer. They said it was going to be a brand new transmission, and this was just a clip that needed to
Yeah.
be replaced. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just
And see, on the way here, I was talking with Evangelique, and we were like, she was like, "You never really used to work on your cars before you met me," which is true, right? I just kind of sort of watched my friends work on my car, and I learned a little bit, you know. But it wasn't until we started dating, and then her dad also owns a '65 Mustang, and now a '56 F100 that he's building up. So he taught me a lot, you know. She's taught me a lot through her own car, you know. And it's like when this past week, remember I told you my bullet had broken down. The initial estimate was what, 1,200, right, babe? Yeah, it was $1,200 to replace a locking module right under my steering wheel.
really?
Yeah, all they had to do was remove the airbag that's on the knees, get access to the module. You didn't have to drop the column or anything. It's right there. Drop the module or plug in the computer, right? Download the program onto the computer in case the computer got erased. And replace the part, run some tests with the scanner, and that was $1,200. It's a $230 part.
Damn. Yeah. I
And
mean,
so here's the thing, like, and this goes for anyone out there who owns a new car or whatever. Be knowledgeable with what you're getting. You know, because if you don't have the money to pay for it, like, try to find something that's within your budget.
Yeah.
You know. Also, if you're willing to learn, I think it's really important to get to know your car, not just say, "Oh yeah, it's push to start." Like, no, like, get to know what kind of car you have. You
Right.
know? Like my differential started leaking, you know, and I downloaded information on how to fix that shit, and I did it on my own. You know, it took me 4 days, but I did it. You know,
as long as you did it, that's
exactly.
what matters. Yeah.
Exactly. And so
That's what the thing though. A lot of people don't have patience either.
they don't, but I think that's a personal
Oh, for sure.
growth thing that you need to learn. So, the older I've gotten, the more I understand. Like, just get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that part at least because, for example, like how we were talking about earlier, when it's like I think people need to have a starter car and at least get to know their car. Yeah, I think
And it teaches you so much.
it does. It does teach you a lot. And the thing too, it's. I think what it has to do with is social media, 100%. I think a lot of people are embarrassed to even because think about it. When you get a car, most people want to post about their car. Like us, we're car guys. We'll post
Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
whatever the case may be. But there is, for example, I guess you could say a stereotype when you get a new car. People when you say, "Oh, I got a new car," they expect a new out of the dealer type car, and a lot of people want to like flex something they shouldn't because it's like, bro, it's not in your budget, but you're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Just to say, hey, I have it or whatever, and then to impress who? Like the people that don't even care for you really, or people that really would not be there to help you out in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know. I always tell everybody, I'm like, dude, just get a basic car, start off with the car, and that's it. Or, like when I was telling you earlier about the Tesla, right? Debating Tesla or Mercedes. So the difference in labor with Mercedes and Tesla has practically, I always say practically zero, but obviously there's maintenance. But we've owned that car for what, 5 years now?
Oh wow.
5 years now. And the only thing we've done so far is just tires. We haven't touched the brakes because it has the regen thing. We haven't done that. And then whatever fluid maintenance that it needs, let's just say brake fluid or whatever. That's pretty much it. But other than that, dude, like it's just been a simple car, no maintenance, nothing. And
that's nice.
And I told her, I was like, if you think about it, if you would have got the Mercedes, the note would have been a little bit higher, and your maintenance would have been a little bit more expensive. So a lot of people out there don't look at the maintenance aspect of things either. Because there's people out there that have bought like a GTR, and then when they realize GTR tax,
oh yeah,
they're just like,
those are specialty parts. Yes.
Yeah, those are specialty parts. You know, like I found out an intercooler, aftermarket intercooler, like if yours messed up and you want to upgrade, it's like $15,000, like a special type intercooler.
Wait, hold up, $15,000?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see if I find it for you really fast. Yeah, dude. And I was like, there's no want a GTR, way, right? Dude. Let me see.
No, okay. Yeah, her parents just bought a Tesla, December? 1 year ago. Back in December.
How do you guys like it?
We love it.
Yeah, you see?
Same thing, the whole thing about maintenance.
That comes into play so much. And a lot of people really... Anytime I mention Tesla, everybody goes, ugh. I'm like, I get it. I understand.
No, see, as car guys, I understand that. Yeah. But at the same time, people don't realize, like, you know, the more people buy electric cars and us car guys buy... like ICE cars, like internal combustion engine cars, like that means more gas for me to use.
That's true. Yeah,
right.
That's true.
The price might go up because the demand won't be as high, right, on gas a little bit. But shoot, like we're bringing the carbon emissions down. That still allows us to drive our cars.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know.
Yeah, I feel that. The thing too is like what I always tell everybody. You know what, bro? I'm trying to figure out what brand it was because there's a lot of different ones on here. Some of them are like 1,000, some of them are like 3,000. And then it just depends on which brand it is. But I remember seeing one
for an intercooler.
Yeah, it's like a specialty intercooler that they use for the GTR, and it was like some real special one. But maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it was like a different, because you know how sometimes when you buy certain brands from somebody, you'll pay like a couple extra thousand than what a normal one would cost. I think maybe that's what it was. It was some YouTuber that was trying to buy an intercooler for some GTR that he had, and it was like super expensive.
$15,000.
Yeah, so I need to double check on that one. I'm gonna get my facts right because I know I've seen it. You know when you see something and you're just like, nah, I know I'm right, but I can't find the evidence right now. Just give me a few. But yeah, like when it comes to like the whole Tesla thing, dude, like I think it's a great daily driver.
I think it is.
I think it makes sense, especially if you have the autopilot, like the whole. Yeah, it just makes sense.
Her parents don't have it on their Tesla.
Okay,
but they do like give you like a month preview, right? Is that what?
Oh yeah, they have specials and stuff like that. Dude, it's beautiful.
That's fun.
It's beautiful. Do you trust it all the way, or do you guys
No, they're like, for example, last night, we needed to hop on the 605 North from the 405. And it was like, okay, 1 mile, like you should start kind of sort of merging over. Half mile, start merging over. Quarter mile, dude, that thing was still going like, and we're like, nah. So her dad just took over and like
pulled it over. Yeah. And it's a cool car though. I like it. Autopilot is nice.
It's not. I'll say this. It's not perfect, but for what it is, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, like how can I explain it? I trust it 100%.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, it was a little sketchy the first time, right? So it made a left turn in an area where there was no arrow. It was just like it was gonna do its own turn, and I was like, all right, we're gonna see, you know. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was like watching it, but I let it do its own thing. It like moved forward, creeped up, and I'm watching the cars come, and I'm watching this car do its own thing, and it just took it.
Her mom was screaming at her dad and be like, "Take over the car!" Like,
it's like the feature's there for a reason. Yeah, I'm gonna trust it. So yeah, it did its own thing. It's funny because like it'll accelerate quickly too. Like when it knows, like it's hilarious. The only thing too is that it did catch me one time off the freeway off of the 105. Getting off on Lakewood, you know how there's like a little dip. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that one. You familiar with that one? That little dip? Okay, so the Tesla doesn't know there's a dip. It just knows it's a green light. So I'm chilling, minding my own business. I'm like, oh shit, it's not slowing down. And I'm like, fuck, dude, don't. And all I goes, and I was like, fuck. I was like, not okay, dude. Not okay at all. But my buddy too, also, he was here recently, and he works at Tesla now. So yeah, we were going over all the stuff, and he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I don't think I've touched one that had to do brakes on. He's like, windshields here and there,
yeah,
big ass windshield. And he's like, but other than that, dude, he's like, just tires.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like it really don't do nothing crazy. I know he told me that they've done battery swaps, which they've done one on ours.
Oh.
But the cool thing about the battery swaps is like when one cell goes bad, like it'll let you know. But as long as you keep warranties and everything how they're supposed to,
yeah,
you're good. If you're one of those people that just gets it and doesn't care about the warranties, doesn't care about like how we said maintenance, then you're gonna mess up and you're gonna spend a lot of money because the batteries are not cheap.
Yeah.
So we upgraded, right? Because they said, well, this is the newest and latest battery, so we have a little bit more range now, and cool. You can. Before it was a thing where you couldn't charge it at 100% every time, only when you were going on trips because they said it was bad for the cells. So now it's like you can charge it 100%. Every time if you wanted to, because I guess the technology and all that other stuff, how we were talking about like off camera with the buses. So kind of like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. And I'm just like, wow, we've had it for X amount of years now, and then that's all we've done is just tires.
Wow.
Tires are not cheap either, but we stick with the name brand tires that it came with.
Do you guys get the Goodyears or?
I think those are the ones that came with
it.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I told her too. I was like, "There's a reason why companies go with tires. It's sometimes it's per contract, and sometimes that contract designed the tire specifically for the car.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like, just stick with the brand, and that's it.
Yeah.
So and then also too, it helps out with what is it? For example, like when I used to have a Mercedes, right? I used to have what was it? A S430. It was a big body one, and those from factory came with run flats. And run flats are heavier, yes, but they're also a lot quieter when it comes to like ride.
Yeah.
So
that whole tire technology stuff is crazy.
Crazy. So I was just like, all right. So that's why ever since then I always keep all the cars with the same brands and stuff like that, except for the Mustang. The Mustang, it gets whatever it can get. It gets whatever it gets, dude. Sometimes that car. Yeah. Sometimes I look at the prices of shit and I'm just like, really? I'm like, oh, why should I even spend that on you, bro? Like, you, out of all the cars, you only touch the weekends. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know if I should do it. I'm like, whatever. But that tire technology thing brings me back to the, what was it? The Porsche. What was the most recent Porsche? The one that everybody drools over, the one that DDE had. The
GT3 RS?
No. It's like the supercar one. The hypercar Porsche or whatever.
Yeah, the GT3 RS, no?
No, it's the one that has the motor in the back. Well, they all have the motor in the back. Fucking guy. It's
edit, no.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna let them roast me a little bit. It's okay. It's literally.
Oh, the 918 or the.
It's like $1 million car now.
What's the other one? Is it the one that Paul Walker passed away in?
Yes, that one.
The Carrera GT.
The Carrera GT. Yes, that one. R.I.P. Paul Walker. The Carrera GT. How they put new tires on it from like the new.
Oh, because the tire technology changed. Yes.
And they freaking beat a couple seconds off of its time. I'm like, that's insane for some tires, dude.
Yep.
At first I was like, oh, it had to be the driver. Nah, it's like the
tire technology has gone.
It's insane how that works, bro. But I was actually gonna tell you right now since I was looking at the time.
Yeah.
We already hit our hour mark.
Cool.
So we're pretty much done. I always try to tell everybody we try to keep everything sweet, short and simple to an hour. Because once you pass that, bro, you start.
You kind of sort of like let it zone out. And
you kind of zone out and everything. I always tell people an hour is a good time and everything like that. But also too, a lot of people don't understand this is that an hour podcast takes me about 4 hours to edit. Because I have to do the whole process of making sure the camera gets you and me, all that other stuff. But with that, I just want to say thank you for coming.
No,
I truly do appreciate your time. Thank you for coming out here in LA and dealing with all the homeless people out here.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. And guys, if you guys can do me a favor, if you guys want to give him a follow, and make sure you guys follow also to the flower business that she has, his girlfriend has. So that way we can go ahead and help them out as much as we can. Don't waste anybody's time. But everything will be down in the description below. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Cool.